Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Now, today's video I'm going to talk about therapy and how sometimes it can be really intense. Now, I have been to different therapists and different types of therapy over the course of my mental illness, and I've been with my therapist now for about a year, I think. And you think you would get used to what it's like to have a tough emotional session, or you think you just get used to the feelings and how to separate them from when you're in that session to then when you're out of it and you have to sort of carry on with your life. But sometimes a session can take you by surprise and it can be really tough, sort of turn off those feelings and leave that dark place after the session has ended. And that is what happened to me yesterday. I had a therapy session and the topic just sort of came out of nowhere, and it was about myself and my self-belief, my self-confidence and who I am, and I think anyone who's followed along on these videos will know that I have zero self-esteem. I don't really like myself. I've had trouble sort of accepting and I just don't really have any self-esteem whatsoever. So when that topic came up, I always get very uncomfortable very fast and try to steer the conversation away from that topic as much as possible, even though I know to work through my mental health I have to face a lot of my demons, which include self-worth. But sometimes you can have a really emotional, tough session and you can find out things about yourself through talking and through examining your life and just through going through things and talking out, coming to some conclusions. You can find out some things about yourself that can completely took you by surprise. Some things you might not like, some things you don't even want to accept, or some things you just wish you would never heard or never knew about yourself. And I had one of those sessions yesterday. I left the session and I could not for the life of me switch out of that darkness. I was just stuck in that session and I couldn't get the negative thoughts. Everything we talked about was whirling around my head. I was just stuck in that dark place and I couldn't let go. And I was getting more and more worked up about it. I was getting more upset. I was getting very emotional and I just couldn't break out of that darkness. That's why it's important you find something as a distraction, because I could feel like I was heading towards that self-harm path because everything was getting too much and I just couldn't control it and I was just losing and I was just stuck in that really nasty dark space. And I think it's important that when you do have a therapy session that you have something as a backup that you can come home to or go and do something, so that if you have one of those tough emotional sessions you can get out this book or TV show or speak to someone else, see someone else and sort of let them or the TV show or film, whatever, break you out of that darkness and distract you from all those horrible, negative, darkening thoughts that are in your head. And that's exactly what happened. I came out of the therapy session and I was very quiet. I just was so stuck in my own little world of what I sort of discovered about myself, what we talked about, and I was just so upset and vulnerable. I don't like feeling vulnerable and I was very vulnerable. I didn't feel safe within myself. I just felt lost. And luckily enough, my mum was home from work yesterday and she sort of noticed that something had obviously gone on, and I wasn't snapping out of it like I usually do, and I wasn't sort of open to talking or, being a part of any conversation. So my mum sort of took it upon herself to make me laugh, make me smile, make me feel happy again and break me out that darkness. And after she'd done that, I felt so much better. But obviously those thoughts don't leave you. They're still whizzing around my head the next day. I'm still thinking about them and I will probably think about them because that's what I've learned. I've learned something, but I'm not stuck in that really dark space where everything's too much. And I managed to switch out of that darkness and have a bit of a laugh, and remember that life can be funny, life can be fun, you can enjoy something, and it just takes someone or something to help you get there. So that's what I really wanted to talk about today, was that sometimes, yes, therapy a lot of the time is the only answer. You know, you have to talk through everything, you have to deal with some of the darkest demons, and really get into the nitty-gritty things that you keep even from yourself, and work out why things have happened, why you feel this way. And it's not a pretty sight, it's not an easy journey, it's very tiring, it's very emotional, it's very hard. And some sessions you can come out and you can sort of feel lighter and more happy, and just like a weight's been lifted. But sometimes you can come out and you can be so tired, and you just want to hide away from the world because you just cannot break out of that dark space. And I think on those types of sessions, you need something or someone there to help break you out of it, to help show you that you can still enjoy life, and you can still find things funny, you can still be happy, even with all this darkness whizzing around in your head. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.